Now, as you may know, Transformers did so well and what have you. It got some sequels as well, but unfortunately, they got hated on. And I'm going to start off with Revenge of the Fallen. After it's been almost 15 years since it came out, does it still deserve the hate? Or can I prove to them that to the people out there, they're wrong? And give this film some good old fashioned Big D justice? Here's my review, and we're gonna find out.
This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews.
So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2009 sci-fi action flick Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, released by Paramount along with DreamWorks, Hasbro, and the Bonaventura Pictures. They bring back Shia LeBeouf and Megan Fox back, along with the voices of Peter Cullen and Hugo Weaving. This time around, Sam Witwicky begins having strange visions of Cybertronian symbols and is being hunted by the Decepticons under the orders of an ancient Decepticon named the Fallen, who seeks to get revenge on Earth by finding and activating a machine that would provide the Decepticons with an energon source, destroying the sun and all life on Earth in the process. This film was released in June of 2009. It still did well, but unfortunately got dissed big time. Rotten Tomatoes called it noisy, underplayed, and overlong. But it did a little better than its predecessor did. Yep. And became the highest grossing film to win the worst film of the year, the worst picture award at the Razzies. But anyway, enough said about the bad stuff. I'll get to more in a little bit. First, if you haven't now, first if I get to the story. If you haven't seen my review of the first film, click on that card. I would greatly appreciate if you watch that before you get into this and what have you. I'll give you a few additional seconds. Okay, that ought to do it. Now, on with the story. In 17,000 BC, the Primes, the original Autobots, get their energy from sun harvesters, machines that consume stars to harness their energy. The Primes vowed never to deplete a star that sustains life. One Prime attempted to violate this rule by building a sun harvester on Earth, for which he was imprisoned by the 6 other Primes, becoming the Fallen, the original Decepticon. In 2009, 2 years after the Battle of Mission City, the Autobots and the humans have formed NEST, Non-Biological Extraterrestrial Species Treaty, a classified international joint task force to eliminate the remaining Decepticons. Two of them, Sideways and Demolisher, are defeated in Shanghai, but the latter declares the Fallen shall rise again before being killed. Meanwhile, the Decepticon Soundwave hacks a military satellite. The Decepticons steal the last known piece of the Allspark shard from a U.S. Navy base in Diego Garcia and use it to resurrect Megatron while killing one of their own to provide parts for his body. The Fallen sends Megatron and his second-in-command Starscream to capture Sam alive and kill Optimus. Sam, now a college student, has been seeing Cybertronian symbols since holding a smaller Allspark shard. Megatron believes the symbols will lead the Decepticons to a new energon source. The shard brings many of the kitchen appliances to life, which attempt to kill Sam and his parents, but Bumblebee rescues them. Sam gives the shard to his girlfriend, Michaela Baines, who later captures the Decepticon Wheelie as he attempts to steal it. After being attacked by Alice, a Decepticon pretender posing as a college student, Sam, his roommate Leo, and Michaela are captured by the Decepticon Grindor before Optimus and Bumblebee save them. Megatron then kills Optimus and the Decepticons launch devastating simultaneous attacks around the world while Megatron and Soundwave hijack Earth's telecommunication systems, which allows the Fallen to send a message to the humans demanding that Sam be handed over to him. Sam, Michaela, and Leo then find alien expert and former Sector 7 agent, Robo Warrior Seymour Simmons, who reveals the Transformers visit Earth eons ago, and the most ancient, known as Seekers, remained hidden on Earth. With help from Wheelie, they track down an elderly Decepticon turned Autobot seeker named Jetfire at the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. They use their shard to revive Jetfire, who teleports the group to Egypt. Along with Jetfire, Wheelie sides with the Autobots, and Jetfire sends them to locate the Matrix of Leadership, the Sun Harvester's key, which could also be used to revive Optimus. The group finds the Matrix, whom the Primes sacrifice themselves to hide in Aqaba, but it disintegrates into dust. Okay, and now I'm going to the final act and the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, as I count down, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Meanwhile, Nest forces and the Autobots land near the Giza Pyramid complex and are attacked by the Decepticons. The Constructicons combine to form Devastator, who reveals the Sun Harvester hidden inside a pyramid before he is destroyed. A majority of the Decepticons are annihilated, mostly with multiple airstrikes from the Navy and the Air Force. But Megatron badly injures Sam. Near death, the Primes speak to Sam, saying that the Matrix must be earned, not found, and that he has the right to bear it by fighting for Optimus. They revive Sam and grant him the Matrix, which he uses to restore Optimus. The Fallen steals the Matrix from a weakened Optimus and uses it to activate the Sun Harvester. After a wounded Jetfire sacrifices himself to allow his parts to be used for additional power and flight, Optimus destroys the Harvester and kills the Fallen. Heavily damaged and distraught by his master's death, Megatron retreats with Starscream. The Autobots and their allies then return to the US, and Sam and Leo return to college. End of story. So, what did I think of Transformers Revenge of the Fallen? Well, it's been some time since I last saw this one, but I've seen it a few times. I'll say it's good in some ways, despite its maybe its flaws and what have you, according to the bad reviews and what have you. I can sort of actually defend this a little bit, but not 100% though. Let's see. Now, according to Rotten Tomatoes, which has this at 20%, says that it is a noisy, underplay, and overlong, as I've said before. Here's more. Special effects extravaganza that lacks a human touch. As of course, this film brought Michael Bay back on board as the director. Here's some other bad reviews. The Washington Post said this was Bay's worst reviewed film, faring even worse than Pearl Harbor did 8 years before this. The LA Times described this as an in-your-face, ear-splitting, and unrelenting. It's easy to walk away feeling like you've spent 2 hours in the mad, wild, hydraulic embrace of a car compactor. Roger Ebert called this a horrible experience of unbearable length. Sure, the film's about 2.5 hours long, and that's understandable as well. Peter Travers of Rolling Stones didn't like, considering that this has a shot at the title of the worst film of the decade. Yeah. And according to what he says, on every level, this movie is as bankrupt as GM. The film is beyond bad. It carves out its own category of, well, I don't want to try and be too bad and what have you. Well, there have just been so many complaints. And Another complaint about it was the usage of IMAX format. Instead of using the film for complete, unbroken sequences similar to Christopher Nolan's approach for The Dark Knight, which came out the previous year, they chose to use the format primarily on a shot by shot basis, combining conventional 35mm footage and IMAX shots in the same sequence. That approach, combined with rapid cutting, created a jarring, highly unpleasant experience for most moviegoers. Again, I understand that as well. Shia LaBeouf was unimpressed with the film as well, saying, "We got lost. We tried to get bigger. It's what happens to sequels. It's like how you top the first one. You gotta go bigger. Michael Bay went so big that it became too big, and I think you lost the anchor of the movie. You lost a bit of the relationship. Unless you have those relationships, then the movie doesn't matter. Then it's just a bunch of robots fighting each other." Bay has admitted his disappointment with the film and has apologized, saying the film was crap and blaming the 2000 to 2008 writer strike, saying it was very hard to put the sequel together that quickly after the writer strike of that year. Well, despite getting dissed and what have you, the film still did pretty well. It did much better than the first film, going on to make 836 million worldwide. And for the last few years, it achieved the biggest previews for a Paramount film until last year when Top Gun Maverick beat it out. But anyway, it would even hold the record for having the highest 5-day Wednesday opening until the Super Mario Bros. Surpassed it earlier this year. But anyway, the film remained at the top of the box office for 2 weeks straight. So anyway, yeah. But it was also nominated for Best Sound Mixing at the Academy Awards, but lost to The Hurt Locker. It won 5 Scream Awards for Best Actress for Megan Fox, Breakout Performance for a Female for Isabel Lucas, Best Sequel, Best FX, and Scream Song of the Year, New Divide, which was done by Linkin Park, who actually contributed their song Why I've Done to the first film. I forgot to bring that up. And 2 Teen Choice Awards for Choice Summer Movie and for female Megan Fox and Choice Summer Movie Star Male Shia LaBeouf. It was also nominated for the Satellite Award for Best Sci-Fi Film, but lost to Avatar, and Satellite Awards for Best Visual Effects and Best Sound. Lots of others and what have you. But even so, the film does have its issues and what have you. But overall, I must say it's kind of a mixed bag and what have you. So I don't really think it's that bad. But like I said, it could have just used a little, you know. But again, it could have fixed its flaws, you know. But as for our cast, Shia LaBeouf is back as Sam Witwicky, and he's still pretty good. Same thing with Megan Fox as Michaela, whom unfortunately that's the only other time we would see her in the Transformers film. She actually did the horror film Jennifer's Body the same year, which also got nominated for Razzies. Josh Duhamel returns as Major William Lennox, and Tyrese Gibson as Robert Epps, and John Turturro as Seymour Simmons. Ramon Rodriguez returns as Leo Spitz. And then we have Isabel Lucas playing Alice. And as for our voices, we have Peter Cullen once again voicing Optimus Prime. Of course, that's the guy who voiced him in the original animated series. Hugo Weaving's back as Megatron, but again, his original voice actor Frank Welker would return. Tony Todd, you may know him best from the Candyman, and the Final Destination franchise as the voice of the Fallen. Let's see. Mark Ryan voices Jetfire. Jess Harnell voices Ironhide. Robert Foxworth once again returns as Ratchet. And Charlie Adler returns as Starscream. Now, however, despite not doing Megatron, Frank Welker did, however, do Soundwave, which he thought was pretty good, just like before. And Devastator as well. Now, I really appreciate them having that character in there. So anyway, we also have voices of Andre Zoglioso, Tom Kenny, Rena Wilson, Ray Delisle, Michael York, and Kevin Michael Richardson as well. So overall, the voices were good too. We also had Steve Jablonsky back to doing the score for the film. So that was good too. But like I said, I think some of the movie was pretty fun and what have you. But I think it could just use a few more touches and what have you to make it, well, like the critics say. I can't really defend the film 100%, so I could probably just defend this just maybe half of it, 50-50. But overall, would I recommend Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen? Well, I'm gonna say maybe just to be on the safe side, give it a one-time watch if you are a hardcore completionist or if you're a hardcore Transformers fan. But if you're not, then avoid it. So it's a draw. Being either give it a first time watch if you're a hardcore completionist or Transformers fan, or avoid it if you're not interested or if you didn't feel too thrilled with the first film. But anyway, despite this, there will be a third film, Dark of the Moon, which will be coming up next. So that's going to do it for this review. What did you think of Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen? Do you like it or do you hate it? I don't know. You can tell me if you wish. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you my review of the third film, Dark of the Moon, the third Transformers film. And if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for some of these other films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of The Fate of the Furious, the 8th Fast and the Furious film. I thought I'll do Fast and the Furious film. Well, a couple of them. Or if you'd like, go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review of the previous film in the franchise, F9 from 2001. Or if you like some more Hasbro goodness, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of the sequel to G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra in G.I. Joe Retaliation. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.